They were the golden couple, glamorous, adored, and seemingly untouchable. Yet behind the smiles and polished public appearances, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively have allegedly been tangled in a whirlwind of legal battles, controversies, and personal drama that nobody saw coming. From abrupt lawyer resignations to shocking parenting claims on the set of Deadpool, the saga has taken Hollywood by storm. As rumors swirl and hidden details surface, many are left wondering, what else has this power duo been hiding? The first tremor in this unfolding drama arrived when Blake Lively's attorney, who was supposed to defend her in a looming legal dispute, suddenly stepped down. It was no quiet resignation either. Word got out that this high-profile lawyer found Lively's demands not only unreasonable, but ethically problematic. Nobody expected such an explosive move, especially from someone so seasoned in celebrity cases. The decision rattled the Hollywood legal scene, sparking questions about how unmanageable the case must have been to force an exit so abrupt. Even more intriguing were the hushed whispers that Lively had insisted on strategies no reputable attorney would sign off on. Allegedly, she wanted her legal team to pursue tactics that bordered on intimidation, maneuvers designed to secure a win at any cost. To make matters worse, insiders claim she had a pattern of berating her own team, creating a toxic work environment that strained professional relationships to the breaking point. For many, the resignation was the first clue that Blake's image as the charming star next door might not be the entire story. But the lawyer's departure was just the tip of the iceberg. The central case involved none other than actor and producer Justin Baldoni. What started as a standard legal disagreement between Baldoni and Lively allegedly escalated into a full-blown war of words and documents. According to reports, she became so fixated on winning that her demands bordered on delusional. She allegedly expected her team to craft never-before-seen legal moves, almost like a magician pulling rabbits out of a hat. Insiders close to Baldoni suggest he has evidence that could seriously damage Blake's case, including text messages, interviews, and documents that paint a troubling picture of her dealings behind the scenes. The rumor is that Lively had been trying to manipulate the lawsuit's public perception, even mocking Baldoni in private, while her attorney scrambled to keep the hostility under wraps. Now, with her lawyer gone, the question is, who else is brave enough to step into this high-stakes legal brawl? Before the dust even settled on the attorney's resignation, another odd development took shape. Certain major outlets, including the New York Times, ran articles that cast Justin Baldoni in a strikingly negative light. Almost too negative, critics argued, for a simple coincidence. These pieces popped up soon after Lively filed legal motions, prompting speculation that her public relations team might be working behind the scenes to orchestrate a smear campaign. It wouldn't be the first time a celebrity tried to tilt public favor through media connections. But the timing of these articles was so precise that it practically screamed coordinated effort. Whether Lively had a hand in leaking information to journalists or simply benefited from coincidental coverage is hard to determine. Either way, the swirl of negative press around Baldoni conveniently shifted some eyes away from Blake's own mounting troubles. And just as the media narrative began to tip in her favor, attention suddenly flipped to Ryan Reynolds when a separate set of allegations emerged, ones that hit even closer to home. Ryan Reynolds' sense of humor has always leaned into the edgy and irreverent. That's part of why Deadpool became a box office hit. Yet critics now say he crossed a line by involving his own daughter in content many argue was wildly inappropriate. According to these accounts, the young child was exposed to explicit jokes and adult themes on set. Even more chilling is the claim that she was encouraged, or perhaps pressured, to deliver lines that no minor should ever speak. Naturally, many fans and parents were aghast. How could someone so beloved, known for his sarcastic wit and fatherly charm, allow his child to participate in scenes brimming with crude language and provocative undertones? Social media lit up with debates on whether Reynolds valued comedic shock value over responsible parenting. And it's not just about a single line of dialogue. Those who've examined leaked footage and outtakes suggest multiple takes were done, possibly dozens or even hundreds, with each version more explicit than the last. That's when the public conversation got serious, leading to accusations that Reynolds allowed his daughter to be exploited for the sake of edgy humor. Strangely, for an industry so famously vocal about controversies, many of Hollywood's big players stayed quiet about the Lively Reynolds drama. While independent media and fans on social platforms were quick to voice outrage, mainstream entertainment circles barely acknowledged the allegations. this pattern isn't new. There's a historical tendency in Tinseltown to protect high-profile stars and brush serious allegations under the rug, especially when big box office figures, corporate sponsors, and powerful executives are involved. In other words, don't rattle the money tree. We've seen it happen time and again. Major studios turning a blind eye if a scandal threatens lucrative franchises. And with Reynolds riding high from the massive success of Deadpool, few within the system seemed eager to challenge him directly. Even as more stories cropped up about questionable on-set behavior and rumored shady deals, official statements remained scarce. Once again, it fell to outsiders, the smaller outlets, the independent bloggers, and some courageous individuals close to the story to break the wall of silence. In this era of YouTube exposés and Twitter threads, independent media has become a powerful force. While mainstream outlets appeared hesitant to cover the juicier details, smaller channels and online journalists did the digging. They obtained unredacted court filings, dissected suspiciously timed press releases, and chased leads that major publications either ignored or sidelined. Some claim that the New York Times article favorable to Lively was just one example of how big newspapers sometimes spin narratives under industry pressure. Meanwhile, lesser-known content creators pieced together timelines, cross-referenced leaked legal documents, and found glaring inconsistencies in the official stories. These revelations sent shockwaves through social media, compelling larger outlets to acknowledge that something bigger was at play. Even fans of Lively and Reynolds, once staunch defenders, grew concerned as they sifted through the mounting evidence. The scrutiny quickly shifted from just another Hollywood feud to possible exploitation and high-stakes legal manipulation. As both Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds saw their every move under a magnifying glass, industry insiders began to speculate about the ramifications for their careers. Could the backlash derail their future projects? Would they pivot to indie films or lower-profile gigs where the scrutiny is less intense? Some directors reportedly became hesitant about casting them, worried that any association with these controversies might harm their own productions. In Blake's case, her legal scuffle with Justin Baldoni is far from over. Rumors suggest he has no intention of backing down. If more damaging details come to light, particularly about how Blake allegedly treated her legal team, her reputation could take a serious hit. For Ryan, the Deadpool debacle might be even more challenging to shrug off. Stories of a minor speaking explicit lines under fatherly encouragement remain a powerful emotional trigger for audiences. Many find it hard to separate the beloved comedic actor from the father who may have crossed a moral line. Both stars have already faced waves of negative press, and if they continue to push for dismissals and NDAs, their critics will only intensify. According to certain commentators, their best move might be to come clean, admit to oversights, publicly correct any misinformation, and chart a new path. However, pride and the fear of lawsuits often prevent such transparency. Hollywood is watching closely. Industry veterans quietly warn that the couple's reputation in legal circles is tarnished, and good lawyers might be reluctant to jump into their case if the demands remain outlandish. Meanwhile, everyone else waits to see whether these controversies spiral into a deeper meltdown, or if a carefully orchestrated PR strategy can soothe the public's outrage. If one thing is clear, it's that this saga extends far beyond a single lawsuit or a few unsettling on-set decisions. It cuts to the core of how Hollywood handles scandal, especially when big names and enormous financial stakes are on the line. For Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, the journey ahead looks rocky. The lawyer who walked away triggered a domino effect of scrutiny, and the disturbing Deadpool revelations brought new urgency to debates about child actors and parental accountability. The ripple effects go further than just two stars caught up in controversy. They speak to a broader awakening. Viewers, fans, and critics alike are demanding honesty, transparency, and ethical behavior from their favorite celebrities. Whether we're witnessing a momentary stumble or the slow unraveling of an iconic couple remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, the deeper you dig, the more layers of this drama you uncover, and the more you realize how murky Hollywood's dealings can truly be. Where do you stand on all of this? Is it just another overblown gossip storm, or a wake-up call about the boundaries stars might be crossing in their personal and professional lives? Let these questions linger as you follow the story. Because in Hollywood, appearances can be deceiving, and sometimes it takes a scandal like this for the truth to finally rise to the surface.